Welcome back to Riveted Bowling. My name is Jason and today we just got a practice video for you. Honestly, Ace and I came down here. We had nothing else really to do. We didn't have any ball reviews to do. We did some business stuff and we were like, you want to practice? And we decided to just record it. Today's gonna be a very simple video. Nothing outrageous, just working on a few things between him and I, and that's really about it. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's get warmed up a little bit. Big wheel. All right, a couple no steps, a couple one steps. Let's get a little loose. Nice. Oh, look, a video with an A-pin. Shocker. Yeah, one of the things I'm gonna be working on, guys, is nationals coming up, and it seems like so far, with both the patterns, but especially doubles and singles, tighter angles are better. My A game is definitely bellying, like getting the ball going left to right. I'm gonna be working on those angles a little bit just to sharpen up, get a touch, understand it, work on ball motion, stuff like that. When my push away, I'm here, right? Nice setup, 80% of the weight, 70% of the weight, left hand. And then when I go, I'm not doing that, right? But I'm also not doing this. My elbow will come forward a little bit, teensy bit, to kind of get the momentum going some. But then at that point, everything just breaks from the elbow and goes straight down. The shoulder will roll back some when it comes down, but it's really, I'm not changing the angle here a whole lot by doing this. It's more so the elbow staying where it is and then the ball just dropping down from the elbow. But the over exaggeration is you're here and then you're kind of just dropping it like this. There's not a lot of momentum to get that ball up, right? We still want it to drop into the swing, but we can have the elbow go forward a teensy amount just to get that roundness a little bit. But definitely there's an extreme on both sides of it. For me to play my angle straighter, I need to cut down the amount of openness, direction in the head. What we're gonna do is force myself to think the gutter is the second arrow, and we're gonna play somewhere around 13. And I don't want to get farther right than 10. Play it nice and straight. Square up everything. Not bad, not bad, not terrible. It's good. Still belling. I was like 12 to 8. Yep. That was better. That was really good. Go and get set up with this one real quick. Just get set up. All right, that's where you normally are. All right, let's raise this ball up a little bit. The reason we want to do that is we want to have momentum going backwards. So when you start and everything like that, really feel like that ball doesn't drop straight down, but most of the energy is just the ball coming backwards. Less is more. Even if it feels like you're out of time, super noodly, whatever the case may be, just less is more. Go ahead, do your approach, but just make sure that when this ball drops into the swing, it is nothing. just the ball's weight. That was better. Keep working on that, but keep in mind, even at the finish, less, like just less. Remember we were watching that video with Mark Baker and the kid was really like everywhere on release, right? He's just trying too much. All I want you to focus on this one is really, I don't hit that, but is really, we're just gonna be like very noodly. Just nice, like I'm not putting anything into this ball. And eventually it will just stop, right? And then on the downswing, even when you get here and you're gonna try to hit the bowling ball, I want you to be just loose. You might lose rev rate, you might lose hit, all that kind of stuff, but we're gonna get that arm swing loosened up. Once we get the arm swing loosened up, I feel like it'll help your footwork because it's not gonna have to catch up or slow down depending on how much muscle you put into the swing. Yep, and you could do that too. Before you throw a shot, just let it swing and then get back in your position and then go. Nice. Now do that with your normal equipment. I already made an adjustment. My angle's a little too open, standing where I thought I should stand. I'm gonna have to close them down by moving right, keeping our eyes there. That was really good. That was really good. Good touch. Perfect. That's fine. One thing I noticed immediately is you have less flailing at the foul line.
Yeah, just kind of let it go.
Yeah, that's fine. Just let it go. Over exaggerate. It's the best way to learn. If I say loose, you say, all right, I'm gonna go like all the way loose.
Drop it.
Yeah. Yeah, just drop it on the approach. Perfect, perfect. That's fine, that's fine. But you're using less energy and the ball is going quicker, which means you're looser. The ball has more energy to do what it needs to do. Then obviously we gotta add in, hitting the ball, all that stuff. But as soon as we get a nice smooth arm swing, and already your ball is about a quarter of a ball, maybe half a ball over from, now it's not behind your back as much either. And just because you're not having to muscle it up. Once we muscle it, it pulls it behind the back a little bit. If I was just gonna do a nice loose arm swing and not do anything on the ball, like this is what it would look like. Like even with that, like it's not like my speed dropped. Speed's the same, which tells me that with my normal shots, even though I'm hitting it harder, I'm not decelerating. I'm not using muscle to do it, I'm using leverage. So even on like a really loosey-goosey shot like that, which honestly felt pretty normal to me, just because that's what I've been trying to work on for so many years. That wasn't good. Send that one right too far. You can gutter every time, I don't care. It just looks better. Plus also at the foul line, one, your body's not looking this way. Not as bad, a little bit, but
I don't feel my leg clinging.
yeah, less is more in bowling. That was good. That one wasn't very good. That one wasn't that great. So I feel like I got the angles down. Now we're gonna work on striking and touch. So we're gonna stay where we are, see if I can make it strike from there. All right, not too bad. A little more speed. That one I used a little bit too much muscle. It's kind of flaily. And right over like 12, 13, or right over that right hash mark. Touch I'm gonna have to employ is soft to get it down lane before it reads the mids. Take a little hand out of it too. Very nice. Yeah, ball. All right, repeat shot, just over that hash mark, just over 12, 13. Better. We're gonna do the same thing again. Try to make a 3-bagger, 3 touches. Right at that tracer, around 12, 13 at the arrow. Speed and soft. All right, I'm gonna add one more thing to your stuff. Go ahead and get set up. So right now, this shoulder and everything, about third step is getting open a lot right now. That's gonna promote that swing getting behind your back, right? We've already corrected part of it by just letting it fall, but it's still behind your back. Throughout your approach, I want you to feel like this is at like 5 degrees open or so. What that's gonna do, but we don't want it to come back. When you're, let me have this. When you swing the arm back, the shoulder, I want you to, like right now, just feel like the arm's coming back, but the shoulder isn't opening as much. So we're gonna keep that shoulder in that spot, right? We don't want it to open more, because once we open it, then it gets behind our back a little bit, all right? Especially on like your third step or so, it definitely opens up. I want you to feel like you're gonna keep this shoulder forward a little bit, which is the opposite of what I was talking about as far as like rolling forward. Yeah. There's definitely a difference between rolling forward, right? And then not having your shoulder open up too far. Right? This is still a leverage position. It might be too open, but it's still back and up. There's a difference between rolling forward, right? When you go to throw this next shot, I want you to just feel like when the ball comes back, again, loosey-goosey, noodle, right? When it comes back, just don't have that elbow follow the ball. Or sorry, don't have that shoulder follow the ball when it comes back. I want your arm to just kind of come back, and you're gonna keep that right shoulder forward a little bit more.
Do I do anything here?
No, just keep that shoulder forward a little bit. Like almost where it's at, just lock your shoulders to where they are right now. Nice, nice loosey-goosey. Remember, this is a pendulum. Everything goes off that shoulder, right? Now that shoulder will roll back a little bit, right, to get inside the bowling ball, but right now it's rolling back too far and it's getting behind your back, right? Again, 2 big reasons why it gets behind your back. You're muscling it open, which you were doing, and then also you're just letting the thing come open anyways, even while you're looser. It's better than when you're muscling it, but we do need to realign those shoulders some. Good distraction, good distraction. What we're gonna do is, again, hit that right side of that tracer. We're gonna try to go right over it. We're gonna go around 12, 13. And nice soft with some speed, soft with some speed. Touched it. A little bit of the back of it right earlier. All right, we're gonna do the same thing as we did last shots. I started to pick up really early. Doesn't feel too bad. Go ahead and swing the ball like you just were, but don't walk with it. Just swing it like you just were. All right, right now, that is a dead straight arm swing. But when you went to go do that, as soon as you started, I saw your arm swing slow down and you pulled it in a little bit, right? It's definitely, you're still muscling a little bit on the downswing, right? So when you muscle on the downswing, you can only the upswing, you can only muscle on the downswing too. Go ahead, get set up like you just were. That looks really good right now. What we're gonna do, get into your starting position. Now, when you go to swing this ball, loosey-goosey, I don't care about timing, I don't care about rev rate, I don't care about anything. What I want you to feel like is that ball is coming straight, right, like right in line. It's better, it's straighter. All right, so we're gonna have to transition left to find a little more oil. Well, actually, I'm gonna make an adjustment. I'm just gonna throw it harder and be softer instead of moving. Let's see if this works. That's probably the limit of my speed though, without getting jerky. It wasn't awful. All right, one thing I am just noticing too is your timing maybe have something to do with it. So one of the things I am noticing that right there, your foot and where your hand came down was better in time. Right now with your normal approach is you're here and the arm swing's still back a little bit, then you're having to force it a little bit. So what's happening is we're gonna try to start your ball a little later into the swing. That way your feet right now are having to speed up and your arm swing is trying to slow down to match itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try a little bit later timing. Go ahead and get set up. All right, now throw a shot just like dead normal. Normal, everything normal. Like what we were working on, but timing's normal. All right, we're gonna do one thing. I'm gonna pause you mid-approach, but do everything normally. But what I want you to feel is the timing. When that right foot, your second step plants, I want you to kind of imagine where that ball is. Basically, I just want you to pay attention to when the ball starts, because we need a reference of when the ball starts now. That way we can pause the ball and start it later. All right. Now, what I want you to do is pause that ball dropping. Basically, what I want you to do is hold the ball a little longer and then start it. Right now, you're dropping it at X time. I want you to just pause it, like half a second, a full second. Just feel like you're holding the ball a little longer and then drop it into the swing. Very nice. See how much slower your feet were, right? Because they weren't having to catch up to the arm swing. A couple minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. I just want you to focus on pausing that swing. You know, waiting just a second longer and then let it go into the swing. All right, this one, remember we threw a little harder. We're gonna do that again, a little bit harder, soft hand. Not bad, not bad. One thing you guys will notice, when I wanna throw the ball harder, power comes from the legs. Simo will tell you that all day, a lot of other guys. All the power comes through your legs. You need to throw the ball faster. You're gonna need more power from your legs. One of the things I try to do is speed up my approach. Now, that's not run to the approach, because if your legs are moving faster and your arm swing's the same, your timing's gonna get all messed up. One of the things I like to do is, instead of being, you know, normal, default, whatever here, I'll lower the ball a little bit. Now, you might think that's counterintuitive because, you know, momentum to get the ball up and everything. However, basically what I'm doing is shortening my arm swing. My arm swing still gets the same spot. The speed is relatively the same. However, when I drop the ball into the swing a little bit like lower, it's gonna shorten that swing up. My feet are gonna have to move faster in order to stay in the same timing. And then that's where the power comes from. That's one thing I like to do. Other people have different methods, but I like to drop the ball a little bit. That way I kind of get that ball started and I can go faster with my feet. That wasn't good. That still struck. That one was whippy. That one was not the best shot. That feels pretty good. What I want to do is transition left. The reason is I want to slow it down more. I want to slow it down a little bit more, but still keep those straighter angles, just so I'm used to a slower speed, higher speed. We're going to transition everything 5 left. I'm now going to be using probably about 16 at the arrows, but I don't want to, I don't know if it's going to hold, but around 16 at the arrows, and as far right as maybe 12, 10, 12. That wasn't too bad, a little bit farther right, but the big thing is the angles to the fronts aren't being bellied a ton. That was good, that was great. The reason is now you're not here and your arm swing's still back here, right? In order to, like, your body's smart. Human body's very, very smart. Sometimes it's too smart, right? We want to be here and you're like, oh, I just want the ball to fall in. Well, you're so behind in time a little bit, there's just too much time. The weight's kind of pulling you off a little bit, or you're having to like really muscle it in order to get that timing correct. Yeah. What this is gonna do is allow the ball to be kind of here, and you're able to just have your flat spot a little bit longer. And this is one thing that Mike had me work on quite a bit, where mine wasn't necessarily timing, it was the consistency of timing. One of the things I used to do quite a bit was I'll start, and what would happen, like I'm a 5-step, this ball would kind of gradually go forward. If I started a little earlier, it's a little bit different timing. If I started a little too late, it's a little bit different timing. Also, if I didn't push it out properly enough, what he had me do was, on the first step, everything's a statue. Everything on the upper body, because this is all for timing and momentum, that's it. We're not trying to add the swing in or nothing right now. Then it goes, right? This still goes. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I said 16 to 10, 12. That one was definitely to like 9. I don't want to write it at tracer. We're gonna go ahead and do 16 to the same thing, but I moved my feet aboard right to correct my angles. Two of them. That one, the funny thing is that I completely missed what I was trying to do. I would hit like 15 to 9, not 16 to 10, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it's not what I'm working on. That wasn't bad, simply because like you weren't so whippy. Like you were able to post it a little bit better. Your leg's not like doing anything crazy. There's definitely improvements there for sure. Yeah, definitely keep the timing part. I think that's a big key to what we just worked on. I know we touched on a couple things, but I think that timing is definitely gonna help quite a bit because that's gonna help loosen your arm swing. Your feet aren't gonna be moving so fast, and then we can correct the arm swing a little bit. Definitely one of the things I wanna work on, not before nationals, but later. Mike Jazz now had me work on this a little bit, and that's walking towards your target. I do drift about 6 left. Sometimes I feel like I'm walking away from the target, and it's not parallel, you know, on line with everything. It's kind of like I walk this way, and the ball kind of shoots that way. I need to be a little bit walking more towards that target, but I ain't working on that right now. That was right. That was a very good, maybe acceptable sometimes. Big wheel. What we're gonna do is I want to correct one thing, see if this works. Walk a little bit more towards my target, change that perspective a little bit. That was 6 boards. About 7 boards from my foot to when I place the ball. We're gonna be probably putting down somewhere around 18. I wanna hit 16. Yeah, those angles make sense. Cool. Dude, I got great ball motion right now, holy shit. I've been like trying a ton to strike. I mean, more angles and it's telling me if I hit it right, but yeah, when it was fresh, I mean, this is whatever. I mean, sometimes burn up house shot can be super easy and sometimes it can be so difficult, but this is very easy so far. Walk a little bit more towards my target, should help quite a bit. More better. One thing about practice though that helps quite a bit, you know, when we're working on stuff, we're not trying to score, right? Physically, if we're working on something physical, we're not really trying to score. Now, you could try to strike in order to figure out if you're working on angles, if that's proper, something like that. But there's 2 things for sure that you need to pay attention to when you practice. There's one part is working on your form, angles, all that sort of stuff. But it is a skill to score. It is definitely a skill to learn how to score. Be in those moments, be, you know, front 6, front 7, front 11, whatever the case may be. You definitely need to learn the skill of scoring. What I like to do in the last 5-10 minutes maybe is just strictly work on scoring. And now this is gonna be, you know, put front 6 up, get that visual, you know, just try to finish out the game, or whatever you're bowling on, just try to make good shape. That's also gonna help you with your touch as well. I like to end the practice either with spares for sure, or just touch and how to strike, how to score. And that's gonna open a lot of confidence. Bowling, golf, whatever the sport is, confidence is key. If you can build that, work on that confidence, helps quite a bit. If you're trying to be a robot every shot, robots don't have confidence. They do the same thing every time, which is great, but sometimes, you know, you need that touch. So I'm gonna try to score, but I'm already lined up, so I don't have to do a whole lot. That's not great. Just kidding. I'm in the back of that one a lot. It's a good touch though. That was phenomenal touch. That was, I knew I was gonna pull it, just kind of let it go. That was terrible. I ran. I'll end it on a 2-handed shot. Why not? Let's have some fun. Oh, well, that didn't hook. Ah. Oh, 2-handed's so difficult sometimes. Yeah, boy. So that was just a simple practice session. Just something I'm working on for nationals here in about a month. Just working on some angles, staying sharp, not redoing anything crazy. Just making sure I still have some touch and I can not. Ace worked on a few things. Again, we're trying to get his arm swing a little bit from behind him. I think a lot of that had to do with timing and just having that looser arm swing. We worked on a few of those things, but outside of that, very simple practice session. not anything crazy. If you guys made it all the way to this part of the video, we appreciate it. It's not, you know, crazy entertaining, but if you guys caught a tidbit here or two, phenomenal. With that said, my name is Jason. We're Rev It Up Bowling. Much love, peace.